This
Keep
is
going, Mike Adapts.
okay. So I do.
We'll see. You tell the audience later whether or not Mikey Dobbs and I are on the same page.
All righty.
So I want to talk about some big changes that are happening in Major League Soccer. And Dave,
Do tell.
as you noted, you're not a fan of any sort of rule changes during regular season.
No,
right?
I think that you can't have changes during the middle of the season because then, two teams playing the same team, Columbus played us earlier, Cincinnati played us later. If the rule change makes a difference, then it's not the same competition.
So another kind of MLS type of decision that you
MLS
question.
shake your head.
Shake your head. So there's three big changes coming, Carmen and Dave, and that is off-field treatment rule, time substitution rule, and in-stadium VAR announcements to take effect April 20th. So that's happening this coming weekend, correct?
Today's the 16th, so that's this weekend, yes.
That's this Saturday. It'll be in effect during the Cincinnati game at the Benz. So a little more detail you guys want on this?
Yes, do tell.
Please.
So off-field treatment rule. So the off-field treatment rule allows for medical professionals with time to assess and treat players off the field of play in less pressurized environment. So if a player with a suspected injury remains on the ground for more than 15 seconds, the referee will stop play and wave the medical crew onto the field to evaluate the player. When safe, the player will be removed from the field and remain off the field for a minimum of 2 minutes for further assessment.
I love how they catch that in terms of the player safety when really that's to stop people from faking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's this.
So what do you think? This one is
the blue card. The dreaded. You've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point of that? It's like
kind of a blue card,
wasting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how this will impact like kind of the in between type of things where you're kind of hurt, right?
Yep.
Do you and maybe it would have been 30 seconds for you to be able to shake it off? Is it safe for the player to try to maybe hurry that up? Because the medical staff's like, and he's like, I don't want to, jeopardize the team for 2 minutes. I think that's the conundrum that might happen for those kind of weird in between moments.
Change anything.
You don't think so?
Yeah, they're just gonna go about the same thing. I don't think 2 minutes is enough of a deterrent.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, because 2 minutes is not that big a deal.
I thought it was a big deal.
Mostly by the time you're off and they wave you on, it's 30 seconds anyway, and it depends when they really start the clock. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I think those 2 minutes will add up, man.
We'll see.
So as a player, I mean, y'all both played. If you knew that you would be off the field for 2 minutes, a full 2 minutes, you don't think that would change your thought? Like, you're not going to fake it anymore,
I never
right?
went down ever, Carmen.
Correct. Which is
I think talk to Mikey Dobbs. Something that has nothing to do with me.
I think the players are going to have a tougher mentality to try to stay on, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, of the whatever percent of people who do that, right, that maybe tore their ACL and like, I'm not going off, and then do further damage. Do you think that there's any? I'm just asking. Like
devil's advocate, right?
I'm being devil's advocate.
Nah, because that could happen. I mean, yeah, you can, but I think that's
because I agree. The players are gonna try to stay in the field no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So you can.
I think that the players are just gonna go down just like normal, and they're gonna come
the 2
off.
minutes.
Yeah, they're gonna take the 2 minutes. It's not gonna deter anything.
But not to like.
I'm gonna yell at my teammate if he's off the field for 2 minutes for being a wuss. I'm sorry, that will change. My attitude as a captain.
Fair.
You don't think so?
I like it.
You're like Roy Keane.
Yeah. If I'm Keeney, dude, and you're jeopardizing a minute and a half, right?
Roy Kent.
Yeah. You don't think that'll have an impact with the captain?
Well, I mean, the captain maybe. Yeah, if you have the right leadership.
You think Sleece and Gregerson are going to put up with that? Guzan at the halftime?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know enough about their personalities. Sleece and Gregerson are, I think, definitely leaders, but I don't know exactly what kind of leaders they are yet because we don't know about their personality.
Okay.
But like at the end of games is kind of what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's where you have, especially the South American players who will go down, act like they've been shot, bring on people but at the end of a game when they're pushing everyone forward, do you want to
I have a cramp?
Exactly. Do you want to be a man down with everyone pushing like that?
To me, that's the only legitimate ones that do happen at the end of the game when players get cramps. Dave, and I know he's true. Like when you have a cramp, like I mean, your whole body seizes up. I don't know, like these.
Yeah, but that happened to me like twice in my whole career. Some of these guys have cramps like every week.
That
and they're professionals. I was like an idiot.
No, that happened to me all the time, and I was
Really?
in the best shape of my life.
Oh,
Really? Okay.
Yes.
you're obviously physiologically inferior.
True. I love, but I probably had more beers than you the night before playing.
That could
probably
be
more
a correlation.
No,
Could be a correlation.
I always took care of myself when I was
Now,
playing
keep
for
in
real.
mind, correlation is not causation.
Yeah. So, the second rule I think is a little more straightforward, and I like. Let me pull up the phone here. So this is the timed substitution rule, maximizing effective match time. The time substitution rule requires that a substituted player exit the field within 10 seconds. Failure to exit from any point on the field within 10 seconds will cause the incoming player to wait only 60 seconds on the hold.
Well, that's even worse because I would go slow on purpose. So this is even worse. So, you're trying to delay the game, which is why you would walk off slowly to get a substitution. So you walk off really slow and the referee's like, now you're 60 seconds. So you finish walking off slow. They start the play. And then 60 seconds later, there's another disruption.
Yeah. Huh.
Like that's worse. I don't think they got it right.
You think there'll be they'll just wave the player on.
Oh, it won't be a stoppage for it. Okay, maybe. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I think
they've already cleared the
I could be wrong, but I'm picturing they just wave them on after 60
that makes
seconds.
more
There's
sense.
no additionals. Yeah.
So is this going to be like the 6-second rule that we used to have, like keepers on the ball, but we know they hold it for like a minute. No one cares. Is it going to be like that?
If you're a time-wasting team, you're talking about 2 minutes doesn't matter, a minute doesn't matter. But let's say that like 3 or 4 of those happen in a game. You're talking about 5 minutes of a one-man advantage.
I'm going to play my Mikey Dobbs card here. I think the rules suck. I mean, like, I like the idea of eliminating the time wasting, but that's not going to do it. I'm going to predict.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Because are we still with the, what do you call it, second string refs? We have the real ones.
This weekend was the reintroduction
of
the real refs.
All right. Okay.
We're back.
All right. So I feel a little bit better because I could see like the second string folks being like 10 seconds exactly. We're going to do all this. So hopefully it'd
be cool if as he's walking across, the ref was like,
right, the countdown clock.
So finally,
see, if you can't, you're not on there listening on the podcast. I was just using my fingers to count down.
So finally, the third rule is in stadium VAR announcements. VAR decisions will be explained and announced by the referee to the fans in the stadium. So
that makes total sense.
It'll be like the NFL where they do.
Makes sense. And we didn't really talk about it, but this year, for the first time, they're allowing the stadium clock to go past 45 and 90, and it keeps counting, which is so much better. It was so stupid before.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay. Like that.
Okay. A little more transparency. I like it.
Like the last rule, don't think the time wasting rules are going to help.
Wait, I mean,
I'm on record.
So, but
Mikey Dobbs thinks they will.
I think they could.
You're usually the most cynical bastard out there.
I mean, I don't have a full opinion until I see it happen.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I could be totally against
you're supposed to make a prediction so you'll look silly.
Okay. Well, then I think it's going to work because I think that those minutes will add up. I think,
Okay, that's a bet.
That's a bet.
Okay,
now, how do we decide that, though? Who?
If
Carmen gets to decide.
I'll decide.
I'll also decide because I'll call myself out if it
That's
sucks.
accurate.
I'll be honest. Like if it's something I don't like, I'll call myself.
Is it time to tell the story again about how Mikey Dobbs got sent off for arguing a penalty kick that we received, our team received?
I love it so much.
Kept arguing with the ref to the point where the referee sent him off.
I love
He's
it.
like, that's your penalty kick.
Yeah. I was trying. I mean, when you make so many bad decisions in a row.
In my opinion, that was my greatest moment of my soccer playing career.
It's pretty fantastic.
I just watched the whole thing. I'm like, did he just get sent off for arguing that we got a penalty? And then yes, he did.
Yeah, it was proof. It was proof about how bad he was.
It was proof of your honesty.
And I wanted him to go home to know that he should probably not referee anymore because he gave me a penalty kick for no darn reason.
I like it.
For the same reasons he had made like 5 bad calls before that. So
I love it. The integrity of it all.
This integrity of the game I care about. So I'm going to come back and tell you the honest opinion.
All right.